Hello guys, welcome to Pantech Solutions, and I warmly welcome you for the series AI Masterclass Day 6. I warmly welcome you all, every respected professors and every students. So today we are going to work on the project like object tracking based on color. So before that, same as there is an announcement. So attendance link will be available around 8:30 p.m. It will be available in our live chat, and it will be available in our comment box. Okay, you can check it out. And once the session is completed, you can start filling up an attendance form. So until then, please have attention on this session. So there are a lot of greetings. Yeah, Mukesh, Anupam, Pranjal, Venkatar, Ramesh, Munir, Basha, Jeffin. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Good evening, Gaurav Kumar. Good evening, Yogendra Kumar. Good evening. And then Bhaskar Srinivas. Good evening, sir. And then Mansi Paramapar, good evening, and Narendra CD, good evening. So good evening, guys, good evening. So and I would like to first of all I would like to thank a lot of people. So like on yesterday also I have got a lot of interaction. Up to I got 100 responses in my LinkedIn profile. So like regarding doubts and regarding giving a positive comments and positive suggestions, lot of interaction is there. So I would like to thank to every participants who have interacted with me through my personal LinkedIn profile. So thank you everyone, and I appreciate your involvement and interest on learning. And I would like to appreciate a lot of people before while starting our session. First of all, so they'll ask, a lot of people will ask an error. So until I fix the error, they will be in the chat. But nowadays, especially on today, so a lot of people have asked the question, and within 5 to 10 minutes, they have fixed their errors by themselves. So really, it is appreciable. So I really appreciate you guys. So you are start learning by yourself nowadays, right? So first of all, I would like to appreciate them. So and then why 30 days? I hope in your lot of mind, everyone is thinking why Saturday, Sundays, bro, right? So if yes, if you are thinking about that, you just please type yes in the comment box. Okay, if else no, you just type no in our live chat. Okay. So do you think why I am conducting my classes on Saturdays and Sunday as well? Okay. So if it is yes, please type yes in the live chat. Okay, still I'm getting good evening greetings. Good evening guys. So we'll go back to the session. So why 30 days? So first of all, I would like to say one quote. If you do something for 30 days or 40 days, for 30 days consistently, then it becomes your habit. So that's the reason we are spending our time. Our Pantech team is spending time to give you the consistent learning. Okay, so a lot of people are saying yes and a lot of people are telling no. So that's okay. I'm happy. So first of all, that's the thing. So if you take anything, so like learning or playing any games or watching TV or anything, either it is a good or bad. So if you are doing something for up to 30 days consistently, or if you are doing that same thing for 30 to 40 days consistently, it becomes your habit. So you trained for the habit, and it will be like it is difficult to overcome that habit. So it will turn completely into a habit. Okay, so that's the reason our Pantech team is spending a lot of time, even though Saturdays and Sundays. So tomorrow is also there is a class. So we are practicing you for learning. Okay, so for 30 to 40 days, if you learn consistently. So not even our channel. So you can get you can learn anything from any other channels. Or nowadays, a lot of people are providing e-learning thing, so you can learn as much you can. So just think us. So we are going to practice you for learning. Okay, so for this 30 days you are going to learn something consistently, so that definitely becomes your habit. So after 30 days you can go ahead by learning any other thing. Okay, so any concept, any other concept, anything. So that's our main motive to conduct 30-day session continuously. Okay, so that's the reason. So I'm getting a lot of response. Thank you everyone. So first of all, agenda. So today's agenda, first of all, we are going to see about object tracking and its application, and then we are going to discuss about the HSV color format, and we are going to learn little bit new syntax of computer vision libraries, and then finally we are going to discuss about object tracking based on color, and a lot of people have interacted more in like a lot of the paid users also interacted me a lot in my LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to give surprise release for you. Okay, so we'll release it later. Okay, so first of all, I'm introducing a new library, that is PyAuto GUI. So it is not necessary, but this is an optional. So I'm going to introduce a new library. So with the help of pip install PyAuto GUI, you can able to install this. I hope you all know how to install and run a library, right? So please type yes in the comment box if you know. Okay, so that's it. With the help of pip install PyAuto GUI, you can able to install PyAuto GUI library. Okay, what's the purpose of PyAuto GUI library? So with the help of this library, you can able to control the mouse pointers, or you can able to control the keyboard keys with the help of Python programming itself. So for that we require the library. So with the help of this library, you can able to control the mouse pointers, movement, and right click and left click and scroll. So those things you can able to control. Okay, so that's the purpose of this PyAuto GUI. So a lot of people are telling yes. So really appreciable. Thank you. So I think my time is valuable, right? So object tracking. So first of all, while talking about object tracking, so that is mandatory for a lot of applications like vehicle navigation or for surveillance system. So yesterday we have seen like moving object detection and tracking. So at the same thing, so here we are going to track an object, but it is based on a color. So before that we didn't done like that, right? So here we are going to track an object. So while vehicle is moving, we are going to track some object. So applications such as like smart trolley or something like that. So if you went to some shopping mall, so your cart will be there. So you have to pull that cart with you, right? So on that scenario, if you configured your dress color or that kind of thing, so some kind of little bit different thing, so it will put up some camera in it, so it will follow you based on your color. So like robot design which will be helpful to follow you. So that kind of application which we can able to build with the help of this object tracking. So while talking about the HSV, so I hope you all seen about the BGR format, right? So we have read the camera frame and we have converted BGR into grayscale, right? So same as like this, HSV is also one kind of image format. So HSV means hue saturation value. Okay, so with the help of this, this format is different than BGR. So when compared to BGR, this HSV format will be very helpful to experience the color when we are choosing color format for painting or some kind of ink for different application. So on that scenario, with the help of HSV value, we can specify the value to get that specific color. Okay, so it will be very easy when compared to RGB. Okay, so it is easily identifiable when compared to RGB. Okay, so that is hue saturation value. So we already told that the topic is object tracking based on the color. So for that color only we are going to use this HSV. So with the help of the HSV value, we are going to identify a color and then we are going to track that color. Okay, based on the HSV value. Okay, so that's it. And then so we are going to see the basic syntax. So first one is BGR to HSV. So the image or the frame which we are reading from the camera is a BGR image. Okay, so to convert that BGR image into HSV value, so this is the syntax, like cv2.cvt color of the source image, comma cv2.cvt color BGR to HSV. Okay, so it will convert the BGR image into HSV format. Okay, so and then second thing, main thing like minimum enclosing circle. Okay, so what is the purpose of using minimum enclosure circle? So for example, I'm going to track any other object here. Okay, so let us take this object. Okay, so if you are taking this object, so if I want to track this object, if I draw some circle in it, okay, if I'm going to draw a circle around this object means, so with the help of this minimum enclosure circle, I can able to draw or I can able to identify what is the possibility of covering this object. Okay, so let us see in that picture which is given in the right side. So that is that some kind of shape is there, no? So that is one kind of object. So around that object, I am going to find that minimum enclosure circle area. So it is touched at the one edge, right? So another edge also it is touched, right? So with the help of that intersect point, so we have drawn a circle, right? So with the help of this minimum min enclosing circle of computer vision, that is cv2.min enclosing circle, we can able to get its parameters such as x and y and with its radius. Okay, so that's the purpose of using minimum enclosing circle. Okay, so and then moments. So what does mean by moments? So for example, if you want to detect, or if you let us take the same object. So if you want to detect the center, so if you want to find, let us take this object. Okay, so this is my frame. So let us take my face, my t-shirt and everything. Okay, so let us take, this is the object it should track. Okay, so if you take this kind of object, you need to identify this object's center, right? So for that, what we can do is, with the help of that contour which we have seen before, so after find out the contour and everything, so with the help of on the contour area, so let us take, this is the contour area, so this part is a contour area. So on this contour area, we are going to apply that cv2 dot moments. So from the moment, we can able to identify what is the center of this area. So for example, this square is the object which you are going to track. So that this is the center point. So to obtain the center point, we can use this moment and then center syntax. So this is the formula for to identify the center from the moment value. Okay, so m10 divided by m00, and to identify the y coordinate, m01 divided by m00. So if you take a center point, so if you let us take one point, so if you take one point, the point is nothing but a coordinate of x comma y. So we need to obtain x as well as y. Okay, so that's the reason why we are using this moment syntax. Okay, so we have learned this three syntax. So other than that, the syntax we are going to see is everything which we have seen already, like converting or to identify the contours and those things. Okay, so which we have seen in the previous sessions. Okay, so and then drawing circle. So it is also another new syntax. So like to draw the circle. So we have already find out what is the center and what is the minimum enclosing circle. So minimum is this min enclosing circle will give you the x and y coordinate and with radius. But now it won't draw the circle. Okay, so with the help of cv2 dot circle, we can able to draw the circle. So here there is. So on that, the first parameter is an image. So in what image you have to draw a circle, and then second argument is x and y, that is center point. So x and y, by keeping a center x and y, so we are going to draw a circle like a compass. Okay, so second argument is a center, and then third argument is a radius. So in how much radius we should draw a circle, and then fourth argument is a color, what color of the circle should be. Okay, and then fifth argument is the thickness. So if you are drawing a circle, the thickness of the line. Okay, so there is alternative way of there is another thing, another syntax, that is cv2 dot circle, where the radius is static. So if you want to drop one dot, okay, so dot is nothing but a circle, right? But it won't look like a circle, but that is a circle, right? So dot, so to draw a dot, so we can use this syntax. Like radius is static. Okay, so 5. So by passing 5, so that will be a like static one. So to point one dot in there, dot in the frame. Okay, so that's the syntax for cv2 dot circle. And then block diagram, like what is the workflow of color object tracking. So like what is the work like a flow chart. Okay, so first of all, we are going to read frame from the camera, of course. And then we are going to do some kind of pre-processing. So pre-processing is nothing but before going on to the application. So first of all, we need to do some kind of conversion, like BGR to HSV conversion, and to apply the smoothing with the help of Gaussian blur, and to apply the erode and dilation for remove the holes. So those kind of processing we need to do. So that is known as a pre-processing. And then finding a contours. So after converting that image, so if there is any contours like some dot or something like that, so we are going to connect each and every dot which is present in a certain object to complete or to make it to be a single object. So like it won't be like spreaded, something like that. So with the help of this contour, we are going to form, or we are going to convert as a single object by connecting every contour which is nearby. Okay. So and then drawing minimum enclosing circle. So after finding that, we are going to draw a minimum enclosing circle around this object. Okay, as we seen in before. And then we are going to find the center of that object. Okay, so for example, if you take this complete object, I can able to draw the circle here or here or here, right? So minimum enclosure circle means, so we need to cover this object with the one circle, right? But I can able to draw here, or I can able to draw here, I can able to draw here. But I need to find the center of the whole object, and I need to draw a circle in midpoint of this object. So that's the reason why we are finding the center. Okay, and then by after finding the center and the center coordinates and the radius, so we are going to draw the circle with the help of cv2.circle command. And what we are going to do is we are going to find the directions. So directions is nothing but, so let us take this, you are the camera frame. Okay, so I'm keeping this object in front of you. Okay, so I'm going to make this object to I'm going to move this object to left side. Okay, so for you this is left, right? So if it is moving left, so car should also turn left, right? Your application or anything, so it should be identified that is a left. So if I move like this object, so like if I move this object to this side, so you have to you can able to identify that object is moved right, so you can able to print right. Okay, if I make this object to be very close to you, so you can stop like that. So if I make this object far away from you, you can able to identify that it is very far, so I have to move forward. So those kind of things. So first of all we need to estimate that directions. So that's the reason where we are saying that. So that direction can be found with the help of that centroid. So that centroid, if the centroid is in the left side of the frame, you can able to identify you have to turn left. If the centroid of this object is right of the frame, so you can able to identify that is in the right side. But if you can't able to identify whether it is near or far with the help of centroid, so on that scenario we can able to see the radius. So if I close, if I keep like this, it is very close to you, right? So on that scenario, the radius of the circle will be very big, right? So on that scenario, that is a stop. So if the radius of the circle is very small, so that is front. Okay, so that is forward. Okay, so that's it. So so we are in the practical session. So in this practical session, there is a first code, this tuning color. So this is option, guys. This is optional one. Why? Because it is not required to study this code. Why? Because this code is for only finding out the like a HSV value. So in Google itself, if your object is in red color, you can able to identify its HSV value with the help of by passing like red colors HSV value. So it will automatically give you the lower H and then lower V and those values. Okay, so you can grab it from the internet and you can put it in your code. Why? Because now we are going to deploy object tracking based on the color. Okay, so that we need to specify the color. So we can't specify the color like passing an image of a red color object. So on that scenario, we are going to identify the hue saturation value, that is integer value, and then we are going to pass that integer value to the application. Okay, so for that I'm going to show one kind of program which will be very helpful to tune the color or to obtain the color hue saturation value. And then file, and then I'll click recent files, color calibration. Okay, so this is not required, like it is very it is not mandatory for to use. Okay, so here it looks something like that. It is ununderstandable, right? So here I'm using this USB camera. I just placed in front of my green screen. Okay, so you can click this open. So it's showing something like that, right? So it is ununderstandable. But here, if you see here, there is 6 sliders. So for hue, there is 2 slider, like hue is low, hue for high. And then for saturation, 2 sliders, saturation for low, saturation for high. And then third, that is up to 5th slider, that is value for low and then value for high. So these are up to 6 sliders are there. Okay, so you can able to adjust the slider to identify what is the hue saturation value of the certain object's color. Okay, so I'll show that one. So I'm going to place this object in front of this camera. Okay, so if you click like this, so it is already identifying moreover properly. Okay, so here red color is nearly identified properly, but I will show you how to calibrate this. Okay, so red color is identified, but also the green color is also getting identified, but we don't require that. Okay, so we only require that phone picture. Okay, that red color picture. Okay, so for that we'll adjust this hue saturation area. So here there are a lot of holes in it here. Okay, so to remove these holes only we are using erosion and dilation. Okay, So we will remove the noise as much we can. Okay. Okay, moreover it is proper, right? Okay, so after identified that, you should not close the code. So here we have to note down the value, right? Okay, so here for hue there is 2 values, and for saturation 2 values, and then value 2 values. Totally 6 values are there. So we need to note down this. Okay, so for that hue, the lowest 139. Okay, so and then for same hue the high value is 179. Okay, and then for saturation low value is 162, and then for high 255, and then for value, okay, so hue, saturation, value, that is 3 things. So for low that is 111, and then for high that is 255. Okay, so we have noted this 6 values. So this is the 6 value which we have to give it in the code. Okay, so this is first option, guys. So if you want to if you know the color exactly, you can use you just browse it for like red colors and HSV value for low and then high. So it will give you the low and high value. Okay, so from that you can able to identify that. Okay, so I'm just terminating the code, and I just close this code. So we have already noted down that values. Okay, so we have noted that. So and then I already told you one surprise, right? So this additional code I'm going to launch it for the paid users. So still a lot of paid users are interacted with me, so I'm going to give a surprise little help which I can do. Okay, so this is color tuning based on HSV value, the code which you can able to find an attachment in the assignment number 6. Okay, so here you can able to find that attachments. Okay, so I have published the lecture, so now you can able to see that color tuning, guys. So once the session is completed, I'll release the code and then PPT for you. Okay, so especially for paid users. Okay, so I have released the code, guys, so you can download and you can check it out once. Okay, so I hope you love that surprise. Just if you like that one, you just please type yes in the live chat. Okay, so and then object tracking based on color. So we are going to deploy this object tracking based on the color. And I would like to say one thing. So like before application, first of all we explained the code, and we have deployed that code to show you the output. But if you see the explanation first, and if you see the output and last, definitely it's my view is not it is not understandable. So what I'm going to do is, first of all I'm going to show the demo, first understand how it's working, and based on the working you just see the code. So workflow, like what is the design and what is the thing, definitely you'll understand. Okay, so thank you. A lot of people are saying yes and some people are saying no. Great, guys. So a lot of interaction, a lot of replies coming. Okay, so so first of all what I'm going to do is I'm going to open same IDLE, and first of all we'll see the output of the code. Okay, then we'll explain the code. Okay, so then only you will understand how we are tracking an object based on the color. Okay, so file and then open recent. So here there is run and then run module. Okay, now it's showing only frame. Okay, so from my camera it's showing only frame. Okay, now I'm going to introduce my object. Okay, so for tracking, in the left side, that is shell plane, you can able to see the output, which position that object is. Okay, so it can be moved with the help of that object. Okay, I hope you all getting the output right. So if you see here, that red color dot is that centroid. Okay, so we have found that centroid of an object. Okay, and then that yellow color is nothing but minimum enclosing circle. Okay, around an object. Okay, so here the output is front, right? Front. Okay, so if you bring this object near to you, so that circle radius is very large, right? So if I'm bringing that object to the left, it is printing left, 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 right? So if I'm bringing the same object to the right side, so it is printing right. So we are tracking this object. So front, due to there are a lot of more lightning, it is a lot of variation is here, but still now it is working perfectly. Left and then right. Okay, so with the help of that we have tracked an image. Okay, so what is that yellow circle? There is a question. So yellow circle is nothing but the minimum enclosing circle which we have seen in previous syntax. Okay, so that red color dot is for finding the center. So if you take an object, that circle is for finding the minimum enclosing circle of an object, and then that red color dot is for to find out the centroid. Okay, so left and right application will work based on the centroid. Okay, the front and then stop will work based on that enclosing circle radius. Okay, you can adjust the radius value in the program so that it will work perfectly based on your application. Okay, so that's it. So I close this code. Okay, I wish to explain line by line, so I'll do I'll open a new file. Okay, so first of all we need to import a library. Okay, so library that such as immutals and then CV2. So CV2 is for reading the camera from the frame and to do some kind of basic application, and immutals for resizing or anything. Okay, so and then the main thing, we need to specify the colors HSV value. Okay, so if you see here red lower, there are 3 values, and then red upper, there are 3 values. So 3 value argument is nothing but so for example I'll put some comment. Red lower means hue. 1 minute. So hue lower, comma saturation lower, comma, and then value lower. Okay, same as like for upper values. Okay, so we need to pass 6 values, so which we have noted here. Okay, so it may be different, so based on lightning and based on the object angle and everything. So you just want to fix it and you have to check the calibration or thing, or if you find the exact HSV value from your internet, so that will also work perfectly. Okay, so that's it. We have specified what color we are going to classify or to recognize. Okay, so and then we have initialized the camera, so we are going to take the feed from the camera. Okay, so and then we need to initialize the while true function for infinite loop, which will run continuously. Okay, so on that scenario, I hope you all remember that flow chart, right? So on that flow chart, what we just did capturing a frame from the camera. Okay, so we have captured frame from the camera. Okay, so and then what is the process? We need to do the resizing. So resizing in the sense like first of all we need to do the resize, and then what we seen, so we have done Gaussian blur for smoothing an image. Okay, so the immutals.resize of frame is with this equal to 600. We just resized an image into small, and then blurred is equal to like it will be helpful for smoothing an image. So by passing that kernel and then format, and then HSV like cv2.cvt color, the syntax which we have seen before, to convert the BGR image into HSV. Since the camera or the frame which we read from the camera is BGR format. Okay, so and then I wish to introduce another new syntax. So this is kind of mask. So mask is nothing but here we are obtained a complete frame, right? So my 4 mobile phone colors as well as background image, right? So on that we are going to mask only the certain color to make that is the object I want to follow or I want to track. Okay, so that's the thing. With the help of this in range, we are going to do, or we are going to segregate that red color part. Okay, and then what we are going to do is we are going to apply the erosion and dilation. So in the figure, that binary image which is shown in the display, I have already shown that. So there are a lot of noise will be there. So to remove that will help of erosion and dilation process. We are going to remove that noise or holes which is present in that image. Okay, so and then what we are going to do is we are going to find the contours. Okay, so I hope you know what is meant by contours and what it will return, right? So that contour, it contains the area and everything. So why here a contour is necessary is, so if there is no object is there, okay, so if there is no object is there, there will be definitely there will be no contours, right? So with the help of this contour function, we will find out how much presence of the certain color. Okay, so if you read the camera now, so there is no object there. So since I have this object, right, so there is no color or there is no that red color in there. So on that scenario, definitely the contours will be 0. Okay, so that's why we are finding out the contours. Okay, so and then what we are going to do is we are just initializing another variable called center. Okay, so center is equal to none. Okay, so this will be helpful for like initializing center variable as none. Okay, so that will be helpful for in later use. So and before that and after that, we are going to initialize one if loop. So inside that if loop, first it will check the length of the contour. Okay, so if the contour is greater than 0 only, then only it should go for further applications. Okay, so further application in the sense to draw the minimum enclosing circle or to find out the centroid of that object. So those things, whenever it should do whenever the count is greater than 0, that is if there is any presence of a certain color. Okay, so that's the reason. Okay, so and then what we are going to do is we are going to find out the maximum value of contour area. So for example, if I am introducing here, so what is the maximum contour area? So if there is a complete object like this, so maximum if I just hidden like this, so contour area will be less, right? So I need to find what is the maximum contour area. Okay, so on sometimes it will be like small one, sometimes it will be like large one, but on that frame we need to find the maximum contour area. So with the help of that CV2 contour area, we'll find that what is the maximum contour area. Okay, so and then what we are going to do is with the help of the syntax called cv2.min enclosing circle of C, we are going to identify or we are going to obtain the center point and the radius. Okay, so I'm going to show this. I'm going to pass that area, that the C is equal to max of counts comma key is equal to cv2.counted area. So I'm going to pass that C inside that minimum enclosing circle. So where for which object I need to draw a minimum enclosing circle? Definitely this is the object. Okay, so that area. So on that area we'll try to estimate what is the center where I can able to draw that circle. Okay, so this min enclosing circle syntax will give you the center coordinate, that is x comma y, as well as the radius of the circle. What is the maximum or what is the proper occupancy of the circle in this object. Okay, so with the help of the syntax we will get that object or that object's center and that object's radius. Okay, so and then of course after finding that we need to find the find the center coordinate. Okay, so here it will give you the coordinate of that object minimum complete area. Okay, so with the help of this syntax we have already seen. So with the help of this moment we will find out the radius or occupancy of a certain object. Okay, so and then we'll compare the radius, so whether it is greater than 10. So if there is any presence of that object, then we are going to draw a circle. Okay, so we know that how to draw a circle, right? So with the help of cv2.circle syntax, we are going to draw the circle. Okay, so for better indentation area, so you just click backspace and go to colon and press enter. Okay, so that's the basic way. Okay, so and then we have drawn a two circle. Okay, so one circle that is yellow color which is drawn around this object, and second circle is nothing but a dot, that is centroid area. That's why we have passed that argument called center. But here for that circle we have identified that x comma y. Okay, so that's the reason. The first we have identified one center. Okay, so that center is for circles, so that minimum enclosing circles center. But this center is for that moment center is for we can able to draw here, or we can able to draw here, or we can able to draw here, right? So there are possibilities. We can draw center, we can draw the minimum enclosing circle with the center here, or here, or here. So we need to identify the center of complete frame. So that's the reason why we are identifying that second center. Okay, so and then now we are up to now. So to print out to print out the message based on the value which we got. Okay, so okay, so first of all we have introduced one if loop. So what's the purpose of here if loop is, so we are going to we are just going into the application part. So like I already told you, for the left hand and right we will use the centroid. So that circle which is around that that dot which is present in an object, we will use that centroid point. But for detecting the front and then back, we will use the circle radius. Okay, so if the circle radius is very larger, so if I bring this object to you nearly, so that minimum enclosing, that circle radius will be definitely large. So on that scenario, it is identified that that object is very close to you. Okay, so on that scenario we should stop our application, that is stop something like that. So if it is very far, definitely the center or the minimum enclosing circle radius will be very small. So on that scenario we will make the vehicle to be moved forward, or it is identified that vehicle is far away from us, right? So that is like instead of front you just put far, or near, or left, or then right. Okay, so if it is very far, so first of all it will print stop, and after it will go for else condition. Inside that else condition, center of argument 0. So why we are using center this as 0? Because in the center coordinate we will obtain two values, one is x and then y, right? So on that x and y we don't require the y axis. Like if I move that object, what it should do, if I move that object to below, what it should do, it is not required for me. Okay, so I just only require the x-axis. Whenever I move the object to the left like this, so it is identified that as a left, or it is, if it is this side, right. So only I need a x-axis. Okay, so on that scenario we are just taking a first thing, so x comma y, so we just require only that x. So for that only we will use as center I have 0. So on that it will I'm just comparing one value 150. So how I can able to estimate this 150 is, here you can be able to print that value, like print of center comma radius, like or center comma 0 or comma so radius. So from that you just drag your object here and there, and you will identify, or you will find out what the proper value of x and then y and then radius and everything. Okay, so by printing those messages, so it will give you the information. Okay, so from that we are going to print that statement. Okay, so if you want to deploy the same code in your application, like a robot, like color following a robotic car, so you just deploy the same code in a Raspberry Pi, and you will write the code for controlling the motors, and you just call the function from here. So definitely it will work, the application design. Okay, so and then same as like so we are going to display that frame. So cv2.im show of frame comma frame, and then key is equal to cv2.wait key of 1, so which resembles that whenever like it will wait until pressing a Q, until then it will display that window or that frame image video. Okay, so if you press the Q, it will break the statement, and if you break it, so definitely it will release the camera and it will destroy all windows. Okay, so I hope you got that right. So we'll run this again. So here we are obtaining the frame. So front, okay, left, and then right. Okay, so the yellow circle is minimum enclosing circle, and that red color dot is for representing, that is a centroid. Okay, so I hope you all got it. So for Q for terminating the code. Okay, so the code which is present in our PowerPoint presentation also. So for paid users, you can download. So after session is completed, within 10 minutes, I'll release that course videos and attachments. Okay, so and then AI news of day 6. So this is today's news. Actually, this is October 2020. I hope it has been 2 weeks before. Okay, so NASA releases or revealed the image of first craters on Mars, which is discovered by artificial intelligence. So the image of like a satellite or anything, so that images can't be captured like seeing it in like that and click and snap. So that is not, that definitely won't be like that. So they will collect a lot of data from a lot of telescopes and lot of imaging device, especially made for satellite imaging. So from that kind of telescope or some kind of imaging devices, so from that device they will collect plenty of data, and then after collecting each and every data, they will process that data with the help of artificial intelligence to convert the data into an image. So that's the image which you have seen here. So that red color dot, which resembles that the crates which is present in the Mars. Okay, so with the help of the artificial intelligence, they have processed an image. So this is the image they took from 1 kilometer. Okay, so the crate which is present here. Okay, so this is one kind of great usage of artificial intelligence, since artificial intelligence is playing very major role in a lot of like alien discoveries, or analyzing the space kind of activities, or in a medical field, as well as like stock predictions and fake news detections, and for smart assistants and voice kind of voice applications, and a lot of things AI is placing a major role, right? I hope you all like this application or this interesting news. So we are up to in the question and answer session, and there is another thing I wish to say. Tomorrow there is a class, so please join us and stay learning, so that will our Pantech team is trained to practice that 30-day habit to make learning as your habit for this 30 days. Okay, after completing this 30 days, and especially for attendance lovers. Okay, so just don't take it serious. Okay, so especially a lot of people are coming only for the attendance form. Okay, especially for you guys. So please have an interaction with the learning. So we are spending a lot of time, including Sundays and Saturdays. Okay, I think how much difficulty is that to work on Sundays and Saturdays. Okay, so please take it serious. We are working for you. Just make learning as your habit. So once this 30-day session is completed, definitely it will turn into a habit. Okay, so we are in the question and answer session. So so how to detect a multiple color object? Yeah, that's a very great question. So first question is very interesting. Okay, so first of all, that can be done with the help of initializing two color space, and then by processing the two color space at a time. Okay, so with the help of that, you can use that color frame. Okay. So how we can able to find that HSV value? So HSV value can be found with the help of you can use your browsers. So you just specify the color to identify the value which is for that specific color. So that where you can find out the hue saturation value. How can we calculate the speed of the moving object through programming? Speed you can be able to estimate like that. So, but you can able to find out the frame, how much FPS is processing, and then why? Because if you are using a normal camera, that frame processing will be different. If you are using a very in-depth camera for specially made for artificial intelligence, that frame rate is different, and your computational power, so that will due to the frames. So first of all, you want to estimate what is the frame rate, and then there are a lot of formulas to estimate the speed from the frames and the changes which is occurred in an image. So with the help of that, you can able to identify what is the speed. Okay. What is the difference between pixel and image? So let us take this is a picture. Okay, so let us take this is a picture. Let us assume don't see me. Okay, so just see on this, only this. Okay, so let us take this image. Okay, so this is an image. Okay, so on that image, pixel is nothing but a one matrix or one cell. Okay, let us take Excel rows and columns. Okay, so that is one kind of, one is a pixel. So combination of pixels which consist rows, columns, so that is known as an image. Okay, so let us take that is a digital image means, so that is a combination of pixels, so that is the difference. XML file which is already given in yesterday's videos comment box. I think you just check it out once. I have video file for object detection. Can this code be useful? For that you need to use argparse library. So with the help of argparse you can pass video file instead of taking the frame from the camera. So you can pass it over. How to use Android phone as a camera? Yeah, definitely, Madhav. Actually, we plan to deliver that today, but due to some time consumption, I just skipped it to upcoming sessions. Okay, definitely, I'll show that. No problem. Why we have red lower and red upper? Actually, with the help of that, you can able to perfectly specify the color or recognize the color. So that's why we are using that. Can we find two objects at a time? Yes, of course, but you have to specify both colors and we have to pass two different functions to call it. Okay, and how to identify the letters? So that is optical character recognition, which we are going to see in the upcoming sessions to classify what is the letter present in it. Is there any option for resizing other than immutals? Yes, of course, we can use computer vision library, that is cv2.resize command to resize an image, which we have seen in the, I think, yesterday's session, I think. So you just check it out once. With the help of computer vision library itself, you can be able to do the resize. Attendance link, definitely they'll give attendance link, don't worry about it. Guys, please focus for technical questions. So a lot of people are asking about only the attendance. Attendance you can later, you can ask it you have contact, you can ask later. So please focus for technical questions. So we internship users request to upload the PPT and video on the same day of live session. Yeah, surely, Anupam, I just noted. Yeah, definitely. Today I'll release that code, guys. No problem. Suppose a car is moving and we have to two cameras, so how we can track a car by its color? So for autonomous based application, color based tracking is not good. So on that scenario only we are moving towards deep learning. So there we can able to deploy a perfect classification between the cars. I tried contacting people of Pantech regarding internship. Definitely, I'll ping it to you, Abdul. Please ping me through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is given in the description below. Okay, so please connect with me. Yes, you can detect multiple colors. So what is contour? So contour is if you convert that image into binary or something like that, there will be like white color dots are there, so something like that. So by connecting each and every neighborhood pixel which is different from the background, so from that we can able to identify that is a single object by connecting each and every contours. Will like borders. So let us take my hair is like that, right? So on that time, so if some green or something like that is here, so on the time with the help of contours we will connect the neighborhood pixels to join my boundaries. Okay, so for that only we'll use that one. So if you're getting error like none type object has no attribute shape, so please check the camera output, because if you are not getting any frame or image from that cam.read function, so that is the cause of the error. So please check the camera argument whether you are getting a proper image from the camera. While I tried yesterday's code for image detection, it showed non-moving object also in rectangle as they are moving. What's the reason for that? So that may be reason due to your camera and your lighting. So for example, if you are using normal very poor camera, so definitely that frame will be different for different lighting and different screen like basic movement. So that is the first option. And then second option, you can adjust that area is equal to 500 we have initialized, right? You just try to change that value so that minor change won't be shown as a moving object. Okay, so please change the value of area. Why to do blur? So that is for smoothing, so which will be helpful to convert that image or to process an image. So smoothing is required. Why? Because or else it will have very sharp edges, so on that time it will be very difficult to handle. So smoothing is required for that scenario. How to integrate code of object detection with mobile? You can't integrate, but you can use your mobile phone for your application instead of using external camera. Difference between AI and ML. So AI is a huge circle. So inside that, first of all, we'll have machine learning, and inside that machine learning circle, we'll have a deep learning. Uses of erosion and dilation. So erosion and dilation will be helpful to remove the holes which is present there. So let us take me. So from the hair we are getting a green mat behind me, right? So on that scenario there may be like white color spots or white color something like it. It won't have a fine border here. So on that scenario, before applying the contour, so first of all we'll smooth an image, right? So on that scenario, if you are applying erosion and dilation, so the border will be widened, like erosion and dilation. So on the time, the holes which is present near to like this in this border, it will be removed. So that's the use of erosion and dilation. Can we make changes on the same code to recognize an object color? Yeah, for that you can modify. That's a very good question. You can change or you can check that color value or something like that, but you have to check it out once. What kind of project you can make? So for like smart trolley system or a shopping cart system or like human following robot. So those are the few applications where you can able to deploy this code on hardware such as Raspberry Pi or NVIDIA Jetson Nano with the camera. So it will follow you based on your dress configured color. So something like that. Can we import libraries in Colab? Of course you can. Can we use it for traffic light reduction? So for that we need to compare a traffic light and those things, so that won't be accurate. So on that scenario we'll use a deep learning for to detect road signs or road traffic. So still a lot of questions about attendance link. So well, you can check it out, the attendance link. So definitely it will be given in the description. Okay, so you just check it out. Okay, so we are up to end of the session. So in this today's session we have learned how to design a basic program to track the color or track the object based on a color. Okay, so I hope you all get some basic thing. So and I would like to thank and appreciate you guys for spending time, and even in Saturdays. So definitely it will be a little bit difficult while handling tomorrow, right? So that is Sunday. So first of all I would like to appreciate you guys, so for your patience and your learning interest. So I'd like to thank you. And then on the tomorrow session we are going to deploy face recognition using OpenCV. Definitely it will be helpful for different applications such as like IoT smart bell or authentication system. So a lot of things we are going to see in tomorrow's session. So I hope you all get some basic things on today's session. I hope you all happy. So for that internship participant, definitely I'll release the files today itself. Okay, so don't bother about it. So and if you have any personal questions and personal suggestion, you can ping me at sanjay@pantech.ai, or you can ping me from my LinkedIn profile, which is given in the description below. Okay, so I hope you all got it, and if you have any questions you can ask there. So still now there are a lot of questions are pending, so I'm just fixing one by one. Okay, so there are a lot of questions there already. Okay, so definitely I'll fix your every errors. Okay, so and thanks a lot to everyone. So it's me Sanjay signing out. Until then, bye.